So I really wanted to do a breakdown on what happens when you avoid or challenge something that you don't prefer in your life, right? So I said, let's set the foundation with your internal state, right? How you feel, what you're thinking about. This stuff is what's generating your reality, right? When you can become more at peace with yourself, your reality reflects that. You are the generator of your experience. This is your universe, right? Now, that doesn't mean everybody else is not real. They're real, but they are a reflection slash projection of you. So, although there are other players, you are the main player of your reality. And you're seeing them the same way you would see other players in a video game, but they're having their whole other experience. So with that foundation, let's talk about what happens when you are reactory towards things that you don't want. When you react to a problem, a situation, a person in a way of, I need to avoid this thing, I need to flee, or I need to fight this thing, I need to challenge it. Besides the mental energy that you were already putting towards the issue, the problem, the person, whatever, you're now going into the mode of taking action towards something that you don't actually prefer. Reason being is because you're taking action on something that you've already been thinking about. So you're hitting multiple levels of this formula of manifestation that is being used all the time to generate your reality. Action is important because we live in a physical reality. Physical action is required to accomplish the things that you want, to manifest the things that you want. So because you're in the mode of thinking about it, right? So your mental energy is going towards it, your emotional energy is going towards it, and now you're taking physical action towards it, you're actually increasing the probability of that problem persisting, or it may dissolve somehow, some way, but you will now get presented with a very similar problem, issue, circumstance, person, right? This is why people who are in relationships that, are challenging will find themselves leaving the relationship and then getting into a relationship with someone that has the exact same traits, characteristics, and then you have the same problems all over again, right? And these are all moments that you use to use the person as a mirror to reflect, okay, what is it that is in me that is making me attracted to this person or these particular traits? What is it in me that feels like I can't do something different than this person, problem, situation, challenge, whatever? Okay, so when you take action towards things that you don't want, you're really signaling to the universe, I need you to really cement this problem into my reality, right? These kind of loops come in a bunch of different forms. I say the relationship one just because that's pretty digestible for most people, but this can come in the form of scarcity as well, where you do everything in your power to make more money, to have more security, and then you get hit with a bill. A traffic violation over here, your electric bill is abnormally high, water leak caused your water bill to be high, rent's going up, and then it's like it didn't even matter that you made all of that extra money, because all of that extra money is going towards another problem. So you do all of this to avoid the lack of security or the scarcity that you're experiencing, but now you're faced with even more of it, right? So all the extra money you just made is now going towards extra bills. So nothing's changed, right? You're still in the same situation. It just has a different cover, a look to it, right? So what do? You got two options to get out of this situation that you're experiencing or challenge. You can become the observer, right? Which basically just means, much like you're at the zoo, right? And you're just kind of watching animals coming in and out of your experience or your sight, and you observe it and it passes on through, or you just look at it and you're just like, okay, this is interesting. You have that option. Now, what this does is you're telling the universe that I am above this situation, this challenge, this problem, right? I don't know why this is here, but it's obviously serving some type of a purpose. That's a very powerful place to be, because now you're telling the universe, hey, whatever lesson you're trying to teach me with this problem, I've either learned it already, or this needs to come in a different form or something. Like it's this scarcity I'm experiencing, this relationship I'm experiencing, or whatever. This is not teaching me anything. I'm not getting anything out of this experience because I'm indifferent about it, right? And that tells the universe, okay, the person's learned the lesson, right? Which is that you have control over the things that are presenting themselves in your experience. You are not subject to your external environment. Your external environment is subject to you. So by becoming the observer, you let the universe know, okay, I see these problems, right? These are echoes of an old energy I was occupying. That energy of being reactory emotionally and mentally to these things that I'm seeing in my environment. But I'm no longer in this space. So what happens? Things shift and turn and, change to match what energy you're giving off. You're no longer giving off the energy of scarcity. You're no longer giving off the energy of lack. You're no longer giving off the energy of whatever was bothering you. And by law, by principle of what makes manifestation work, it now has to match your energy. Option 2 is anytime that you're presenting, or anytime you're presented with a problem, obstacle, challenge, whatever, and you look at it like, okay, how is this serving me, right? So this is beyond becoming the observer and kind of going into a back and forth co-creation with whatever is there, right? Anything that presents itself now, you're looking at it like, okay, this is here. It's here for a reason. What is this teaching me, right? You go straight into curiosity mode. This is an interesting thing that's happening to me. It's not something I prefer, but it's interesting that this is popping up. What is this trying to teach me? And when you go into that mode of curiosity, what is this teaching me? You're telling the universe, hey, I see that there's a lesson here, right? You're now opening up the channel of communication between you and the universe, where it's like, okay, they are acknowledging that this situation, challenge, circumstance that they don't prefer is something that is teaching them, right? We can now make it easier for them to learn the lesson, right? It doesn't need to be a challenge anymore for you to learn the lesson if you go into curiosity mode and you're like, okay, I understand that this is a lesson. I understand that this challenge is here for a reason. Now you're in the mode of receiving an answer. Oh, this is teaching me about this. Oh, it's teaching me about that. You might even just wake up one day with the answer, right? Or somebody may say something that triggers something for you to learn that lesson, right? Complete. That's it. You're complete. The problem doesn't need to be there anymore because you learned the lesson, right? So those are the two options that are typically taken when facing a challenge and you want to stand over the challenge, looking at it as if it's a show or something just playing out, right? You're not in danger. You're not in a unsafe environment. There's nothing for you to worry about or anything like that. You just observe it. This is something here to teach me, or this is something here that has some type of value for me. So I hope this is helpful for somebody, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.